Hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry, I forgot totally to hit the button. Um, my name is John. I'm with FNP Wargamers, and this is the FNP Morning Show. It's Tuesday morning. It is New Year's Eve. I hope everybody that is getting geared up today for their awesome Christmas Eve party, if you're going, or if you're bracing yourself to be the DD, or checking your checking account to see if you have the money to bail somebody out of jail tomorrow morning. Well, I hope everything's going well, I guess. I'm not sure. Maybe that wasn't such a pleasant opening there. A lot going on today for everybody out there in the world. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been in the corporate world, so I'm not sure if it's really a day off or people are going to be getting half days or what. So hopefully you don't have to work too long today. That way everybody can get off work, get home, get some food in their belly, get kind of prepped for tonight, and then, well, go and celebrate the end of the year and the coming of the new year. Let me add into this show right now is I'm still fighting off the cold. I'm now in that super congestion stage. So I think I've got most of it out of my system long enough to do the show today. But if I occasionally have to cough, I will do my best to cover the mic and look away. My apologies up front. I am just in that downhill, or I'm over the top, or whatever the saying is, as it's leaving my system. So just bear with me if I sound nasally, if I have to cough or sneeze or blow snot everywhere, whatever. So let's get on with the show. I said we're going to have some rumors today. I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to get on before I go into a couple of the rumors that we got going on. One of them is I was talking about yesterday. I've got one that's still, I think I've pretty much debunked now. I'm trying to find the image, but I'll come back around for it later. I don't even know if it's. I'm not going to call the person out that passed it around, or maybe I will. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at that individual and kind of backtrack at his rumor releases or his leaks and everything. 'Cause there are a number of people out there, a tiny percentage, like uh, like less than 1% maybe of the people, maybe 1% of the people that pass on rumors and leaks. I mean, there's such a insignificant portion of the population that passes on information that they're not really even worth talking about too much. But at least we can identify them as, hey, these guys keep putting out bunk, crappy rumors and pictures and fake hoaxes and all that kind of stuff like that. And I know Fate used to do that, give kind of a rating system. Fate 212, his channel, uh, he used to be able to do that, or he used to do that, and now he's more of just of a news channel. So I think I might start doing that and go, okay, well, this guy has been wrong 99% of the time. He's always putting out fake stuff. I don't know if it's worth the effort, but I do have a lot of free time. So maybe I will. Maybe I will. Anyways, so at least I can tell you that rumor. I'm going to debunk that. And you know what, let's start to show off on that one. That there is well, we know that there's one new warband coming for Warcry. It was already mentioned. I cannot remember the name of them. I'm sorry. I don't want to waste your guys' time by going through the Warhammer community page, scrolling through everything. But it's basically a bunch of gladiator style. It's a gladiator style warband that look actually really awesome looking. Morning, Nam. Um, but there was this warband, and I finally tracked down the artwork that the individual was saying that the next warband. He didn't even give a name. He just said he had images of the next warband, and it was a heavily doctored picture of the. I'm not sure what they're called, but I guess maybe I'll have to dig into the web page a little bit. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Um, They're the new warband, the Corpse Cleavers. There we go. The Corpse Cleavers or Corpse Grinders from the Necromunda, and he had used it was like a picture. Basically, it was a bust. So the part of the chest all the way up to the head, and there was flames above his head that was, I think, were added in there. And he was saying it looks like they did some photoshopping, and they were saying that was the next warband after this upcoming one for Warcry, the Gladiator one. So him using that imagery and saying, "Hey, here's the artwork for it." It was. I'm glad I didn't go jump on it and go, "Oh my gosh, there's a new Warcry warband." It's not true. I'm sorry about the coughing, guys. I'm really trying my best here not to cough on camera. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. I tried to get away. So, anyways, so that's rumor number one. Pretty much debunked. There is a new Warcry warband coming. Not two as of right now. The new one is simply the one that's already been announced about a month or so ago. I did some checking, and so it looks like we were the first to announce that Company Master Lazarus was going to be the model. We had him on the 17th. We had talked about it on our show on December 17th. Everybody else was about 5 days after. Well, 5 days after for Bell of Lost Souls, Spiky Bits, and everything else. And it's significant because all of a sudden this is the second or third time now that everybody's jumped onto our information. So, and as I look into this, before I start condemning these other channels and other websites for going, hey, for stealing, without, not stealing, but not giving credit where credit is due, I also have to look at their sources might be watching our show and going, oh, let me pass this on to Chapter Master Valric or those people at Bell of Lost Souls or Spiky Bits or whatever, and go, hey, I'm a solid rumor guy. You should listen to me. It makes me feel good. Here's some information. Mind you, I did not steal that from somebody else. Just it's a little dick move. But all right, there's my curse word for the day. Let's get into some other things. Not a lot going on with Warhammer 40,000 today, or not Warhammer 40,000, but Games Workshop today. They are doing. They're still going to continue on with this year in review, and until today. There's nothing going to be new really revealed until this Saturday at the Warhammer Open Day in Birmingham or Nottingham, one of the two. I forget where it's being held this year. So there might be some reveals tomorrow just to kind of kick off the new year, but the big reveals will be Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised if they go, hey guys, here's a little something to wet your whistle tomorrow. So just watch for it, but do not expect it to be the big reveal. That will be Saturday. Probably 8. Let's see here. That should be about, my guess is 10 a.m. Central Time and then 3 p.m. Central Time. I always get I'll find out when the reveals are, and I'll pass that on to you guys. So let's, nothing really Texas Wargamer. I haven't gone over a lot. Just kind of debunking some silly rumors. We're going to be talking about another rumor that is it has taken a number of websites by storm, and I'm going to address it, and we'll go from there. Before I go any further, I want to at least identify a couple things that there's other information that we passed on, that Games Workshop passed on about a month or so ago, or maybe 2 months ago, that they're expanding. We know that they're expanding, not necessarily into other markets. We know that they're doing that into TV and cartoons and that sort of thing, or anime, that sort of thing. We knew that was happening. They already told us that. We knew that their warehouses were going to grow in size. In fact, let me pull up my notes here. A lot of this information, this is like what I was talking about with earlier when I was saying that other people might be taking the information they get from me or from our channel and pass it on to somebody else's as their own information. Well, somebody passed information on to me, didn't give me a source, and it looks like everybody else is using the same source. So see what I mean? So a lot of this information is coming from Fate 212. Um, some of the stuff we already knew about them buying more, GW buying more warehouse space. Um, we knew that they were splitting up the design studio and expanding the design studios. So for Horus Heresy, all their specialist games, pretty much. Some of it sounds like Horus Heresy and Warhammer the Old World, which is going to basically be their version of the Horus Heresy. It's going to be coming out next year or the year. I think they said 2 years. Those are all going to be coming out of that new studio under. Oh man, I can't remember who they said was going to. It might have been Jeremy Vitok or Andy Hoare maybe. Anyways, somebody's going to be heading up that whole department, and that might be going back to their historical. They used to do historicals, believe it or not, way back in the day. I think they stopped doing that around early 2000, 2001, maybe late 90s. They stopped doing their historical line because there was plenty of other companies out there that were doing it and doing it better, and Games Workshop was spreading themselves way too thin. That's why they stopped doing in-house RPGs. They stopped doing games like Dark Future and what was the other one? They used to have the rights for the Judge Dredd, and I believe they had Doctor Who miniature game. I can't remember, but they had a number of miniature games that were under their flagship that eventually they either let the license go or they just didn't renew. I don't know. Anyways, so that's about the time that they were getting rid of all. I think they had Boot Hill as well. It was an old Western one. That might have been more of an RPG. I can't remember. It's been so long, and you can't find the webpage anymore because they got rid of it. Anyway, so what we know, and they've told us, is that they're expanding. A new bit of information that Fate had passed on, or was passed on to him, that the Memphis facility is going to be expanded by about another 50,000 square feet, which is odd to me. Unless they are upping and moving away, that's moving to a new facility, or they're going to be knocking down walls to incorporate a new 50,000 square feet. That facility is pretty set in stone. I'm not sure how they're either. I don't. It seems unfeasible that they're going to expand their area. What might happen is they might have taken the old storefront that they had, and a lot of the studio or the gaming area that they had, and the offices, since that is now a warehouse, it's no longer the headquarters for Games Workshop North America, and finally gut it and turn it into more warehouse space, because they already increased their space size about 4 or 5 years ago, when they got rid of all of their equipment, because they used to be able to manufacture. They used to be a manufacturing plant as well, but they ended up taking all that equipment, sending it back to the UK, and it sounds to me like they might be bringing some of that equipment back. It was stupid of them to do that anyways, but whatever. Who am I, right? Once again, I'm sorry if I have to drink coffee, or I'm going to be coughing offline, getting rid of this cold. So anyways, they're going to be expanding that line and improving it. There's talks of, and I don't know how true the rumors are. Actually, I'm going to reach out to a friend of mine, Jay, and see, and another gentleman. I don't want to name him, but because it would jeopardize his job, maybe. Reach out to them and say, hey, is any of this true? Are we going to be seeing this level of expansion? Are you getting new robots to go around and grab stuff off the shelf and increase their accuracy and speed and efficiency? Because lately here, North America has been, I would say, in the past few months prior to the Christmas rush, so maybe October, November, there's been some issues with their shipping. And I know what some of the issues are. They just get a big line of stuff and they just start slapping labels on, and sometimes they're not being accurate when the person is slapping the labels on, and just this long row of boxes. I'm breaking it down kind of dummy style here, but then they start slapping the labels on for shipping, and they might put the wrong label on a different box. So the box that's going to, I don't know, Cypress, Texas, ends up going to Baltimore or California, and they get their stuff, vice versa. Not saying that that's happened, but it might have happened. So there's been some accuracy errors there. So there might be some truth to a lot of them picking up the pace there and improving it. But it's another 50,000 square feet that's pretty massive. But I think that might be them just gutting their office space, the unused office space, and their storefront and the play area, and I don't think that's quite 50,000 square feet, but could be. So it'll be interesting to see how they use that. Plus, they have a bunch of back offices as well that were used for training facilities and such. So they might just be gutting a lot of what's already there instead of building onto or moving to a new location. I'm going to try to find out. Hopefully, I'll know this week or next week. Probably, yeah, we'll see. Let's see. I'm just getting caught up here. Texas Wargamer, you think the old world might be Warhammer Fantasy 8.0, 9.0? It has to be a 9.0. I would hope that they learn their lesson from 8th. 500-page rule book does not a good game make. That is true, Epion. That is true. We will see, gents. I really don't know what's going to happen because a lot of people. I've talked to, not a lot, I should say, I've talked to a number of Horus Heresy players, local, and though they love the 7th edition rule set, a lot of them are kind of getting tired of the rules bloat and trying to flip through pages. The new players getting into it are going, Warhammer 40,000 doesn't have this much crap. Sorry, this doesn't have this much rules, and it's a lot easier to play. So why am I doing this game that's costing me more than that game, and it's taking me longer to play? So there's for whatever is going to be happening with Warhammer Old World and Horus Heresy going forward, they're going to have to look at adjusting some rules. I would not be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if those rules make it to the newer maybe something similar to 8th edition or Age of Sigmar. Don't quote me. I'm not saying, or you can quote me. I'm just speculating here because the 7th edition and the 8th edition or the old edition of Warhammer Fantasy was, man. Well, like Epion said, 500-page rulebook. I mean, say what you want about 8th edition and Age of Sigmar, but those games, those two versions have streamlined how we play. It has sped up our play. We're having more miniatures on the table, and it's a lot easier to play versus, well, hold on a second. I don't know what that rule is. Let me see what that universal rule is. Oh, and then but now I got to see if it triggers this one. Oh, and you have this one. So what is the interaction? Let me flip back for these pages. It was a nightmare. If you've not played 7th edition, it was a nightmare to play the game. And as Epion is saying, the vocal minority think it's the only way to play. That's true. It is a vocal minority. And it's a vocal minority of a minority. So it's really... Yeah, that's anyways. I'm kind of getting sidetracked here from everything I was wanting to talk about. So that's all I have to say about the studio. But in general, they are expanding in the UK and here to meet the demands. There's still a lot of talk, and I think I know where the talk's coming from, but a lot of talk about an easier and more inexpensive way to get new people in. Because I think Games Workshop is finally realizing that they are about to cap out on their product. Their price hiking is getting up. It's pretty much out of control in my opinion. It is pushing new people out of the hobby or from getting into it. And they've been testing out that whole conquest. I think they tested out in Japan first possibly, and I think Spain Germany, I think UK is finally getting it this year. We might get it here in the US, get it next year. But I don't think it's the best way for them to do it. It's shoehorning, I'm not sure that's the right term, people into either going, hey, you were either doing Army A or Army B, and this is your way of getting into it. What they need to do is every faction needs to have an easy way to getting into. That way people can go, you know what? I really like the look of this. I'm going to go the easy route, more of those easy to build, maybe easy to build box sets to get people started and make the price point lower than to get in than the other ones. And then of course, once they're hooked, then hey guys, you're ready to expand. Here's your other models, blah blah blah. That I don't know how else they're going to do it because I'm sorry, you guys know I'm a Games Workshop fanboy, but they are definitely pushing people away from getting into the game. I don't know how many times parents come in there like, oh my God, that's $95 for a bunch of like 20 toy soldiers. Really? And it's like, well, this is to start collecting. This gets you started. And she's like, oh, you have to buy more? This isn't enough? Like, well, yes, it's enough, but if they want to expand, there's a lot to expand too. It's becoming a hard sell. So I'm sorry I'm getting nasally. All right, let's move on. So let's address this rumor. Let me hide this window capture and pull up this rumor. You guys might have to get a little close to your screen on this one. I'm not going to expand it too much bigger because it's just going to keep distorting the image. Whew, you ready for this? This rumor is, this image has been passed around a bunch of websites. Spiky Bits, Spell Vessels, Fate 212, and War of Sigmar. And I'm sure there's a few others. I'm going to put my 2 cents in it. I'm going to put what I've talked about before that's going to be coming, and this could be alongside of it, and then we'll address this. So here we go. Let me hide this. All right, this is the image that's been popping up everywhere. Oh, let me do a little stretching here. All right, there's a number of things. People have tried to increase the resolution of this or tighten it up and everything. There's a number of things that we're going to address here. So let's do our best to do this. Let's start with the one in the center. So this looks like an Ultramarines army and a Blood Angels army, side by side, blue and red. And that yellow there is very likely that's the helmet. So a helmet, the Blood Angels sergeants and some of their other guys tend to have some yellow helmets. So that could very well be, more likely that's Blood Angels. So that looks like a grav vehicle. Hopefully you can see my little pointer here, the hand. It's over here on the back left end. And it looks like there's 2 stabilizer fins. There's these 2 missile launcher pod like things up here. And this is the best resolution I could find immediately. Other ones that look more like 8-bit images. I don't know. Open canopy, and then the whole grav vehicle. It looks legit. It does look legit, ladies and gentlemen. And the way that this whole picture is stylized, or how it's been taken, definitely resembles the style that they like to do. Like, this is going to be an image pulled from an upcoming book. So I don't know for sure. We're just going to speculate here, and then this will be it for the day. Another thing people pointed out are these bikers up here. These 3 or 4 bikers. They are on the larger oval bases. I believe those are the, you know what? I pulled up that up here. That is I believe those are the 60 by 35, or they're I don't think they're the 75 by 42 millimeter bases. I believe those are the 60 by 35 millimeter oval bases that are used mainly in fantasy for their cavalry models. So those are larger bases. And as of right now, the bike squads come on the 25 millimeter by, I think, 70 or 70 millimeter or 60 millimeter. Or is it 50? Maybe it's 50 millimeter bases. So those are definitely not the old bike bases. Now, are those the old bikes? I don't know. There are some. There's. It's hard to tell with this image. There's definitely the impression that those are the same bikes, but there's some qualities there with a distorted image that these might be different bikes. So I'm not gonna dwell too much on that. Um, where was I? So if these are clever, if this is a very clever conversion, it's very well done. The the setup is done in the same vein that Games Workshop does, but this also has some very similarities down here in the lower right hand corner. It's another vehicle with an engine on the back and some sort of launcher or something there as well. This cannon over here on this grav tank, one of the pixelated images that we saw looks like a ball predator style turret. And with this being Blood Angels, this very well could be a ball predator style, a new style of repulsor that we might see in their book. And just like this model right here, I'm going to cough, I apologize. Man, I am sorry, guys. This cold is kicking my butt. Oh, goodness. I am so sorry. Sorry if that was loud. Anyways, better. So people might be going, well, God dang it, why didn't they just put this in the Space Marine Codex? Well, they're saving it. This is one of their tactics. So let's say that those bikes are brand new, though that that hover vehicle, which is very similar to a land speeder, but it looks like a much bulkier land speeder, and maybe this ball predator style repulsor down here in the bottom left hand corner. Let's just assume that that's what those are, and it's easier for them to go, you know what? Let's put this stuff. This really fits what we wanted for the Blood Angels. Let's put it in the Blood Angel book, and that's when these new models will release. This is going to be amazing, and what we'll do is give a free update later on, or when that releases, for all the other Marine armies that have access to one or both of these vehicles, and or if those are the bikes up there. So then later on, that gives them the reason, like, hey guys, here's your new Space Marine Codex. Your supplements are fine. Your Space Marine Codex is now updated with all these new units. These are the new Primaris units, and here we are. We're going to do you a favor. We're going to push the Ball Predator, the Space Marine Bikers, the Land Speeders. We're going to push them out into the Warhammer Legends line. And now you've got your new Primaris models as the production level keeps coming up, and they keep coming up with new ways to expand the battlefield role of the Primaris Marines. Sorry, I'm going to cough again. Man, I'm so sorry. So we know that they're going to be pushing out the Space Marines, the regular Space Marines. We've known that. I know a lot of people have pushed back against that idea, but it's true. They're going to do it. I said 5 to 10 years, and it's already been 2 years now. So we're definitely about, I would say 3, 4, I would say about 5 years now. So I've actually put it at about 7 years. 5 years now. So that's in 5 years we'll have a new Space Marine Codex, and I'm betting, and all the regular Space Marines, that'll be the first start of pushing everybody out that is not Primaris. Just watch. I'm expecting that's going to happen. All right, so I have talked to you guys before about the bike squads, Primaris bike squads. I have seen the artwork. Some of the artwork has actually been released online very stealthily in a novel, and they were White Scar bikers, Primaris bikers. That's not the same. It's not the same artwork, but very similar. That was done. I talked about that, man, probably about summertime, right before the Space Marine Codex had come out, and before we saw any real big teases. And so there is a little bit of credibility that this is finally the Primaris bikers coming out next year, and that would be an awfully big reveal. This might be a very clever, oh no, somebody leaked the information online, but it's actually Games Workshop leaked it online, and we're going to see this come this Saturday on the 4th or at Las Vegas Open. I don't know, guys and gals. Anyway, so the bikes we've talked about before, it's still plausible. It's still likely we might be seeing them, and that might be them in that upper right-hand corner. Still no verification. It is definitely possible. We've talked about it before many, many, many times. A little bit of wish listing in there as well. And it is one of those battlefield roles that they are missing and would be one of those things that they need to replace. So like bike squads, a heavy combat or a close combat unit like Terminators or jump pack Marines, like these right here in the right center of the picture, you see a squad. It looks like a squad of about three guys, maybe four guys up there on 40 millimeter bases. And there's another guy right here that's this black spot. It could be a new character. I don't know. But it looks like some new 40 millimeter base models. They have weird stances just from those images. Some of the cleaned up images I've seen. That does not. It's not the aggressor style bodies. Could be, but and that could very well just be Terminators, guys and gals. Could very well be, but I don't think so. I think it could very well be their example. Their close combat guys. So the other thing they need is some fast attack vehicles and some cheaper armor. So the like an anti infantry vehicle like the Ball Predator, and this beefed up land speeder, and it looks like it's probably using the chassis of the Impulsor. So the Impulsor is what I would imagine is going to be kind of like how the Rhino is. The Rhino is the chassis for Vindicator tanks, Predators, Whirlwinds, and Razorbacks. So the Impulsor is probably going to be the body for their version of the land speeder, or sorry, not land speeder, but a Razorback or Whirlwind or something similar. My only issue with this, where it could be a conversion, is on this land speeder like vehicle. Some of the cleanup images I've got show that these missile pods are faced inwards. So I don't know what's going on there, but they should be, facing outwards, not inwards. So they, you don't cross the streams. Crossing the streams is really, really bad. That's how you get your face melted off. So anyways, I've also talked about, I've had one person go, dude, is this the Overlord? And I was like, no. I've talked about the Overlord before. I think it's going to be I'm pretty positive it's going to be one of two things. One of three things. A, it's never going to get a model. B, it's going to be done by Forge World. Or C, did I do ABC? Yeah, C, it's going to be done by Games Workshop, and it'll be plastic. And it will be the plastic Thunderhawk. Reset the clock. It's going to be the plastic Thunderhawk. I think that's what the Overlord is going to be. Why bring out a plastic Thunderhawk that only transports models that are getting phased out? Because Primaris Marines cannot go inside of the Thunderhawk. So today is, I'm just repeating this once again, today is 12/31 at 10:36. The Overlord, which I've talked about many, many times over the past, I would say almost past year, is going to be the Primaris flying transport. And I believe it is going to be the plastic transport that we're going to get, the plastic Thunderhawk we're going to get from Games Workshop. The Thunderhawk is going to stay over at Forge World. Plastic Overlord is what we're going to get, possibly. That would be my guess. That's based on them resetting the clock. The squats that they've reset the clock on several times, we've been getting them. They've been on Necromunda, but we've been getting them. So the only thing left is that plastic Thunderhawk. I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be the Overlord. So I think that is all I've got. Oh, one last thing. I will be doing, let me bring this back. Let's see here. Alien RPG. I have been reading it, reviewing it, getting prepped. So tomorrow night, Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, I will be doing a full review of it. Hopefully I can get the creepy music and we're all gonna die, or game over man sound effects and bits and all that stuff in on the video. This is a creepy game, guys and gals. It is very scary, very deadly, and they the way that this game reads, it's you're not gonna survive. It's like it's really good. So, anyways, let me get off of this again. Let me leave you guys with this last image. Take it with a grain of salt, even though you have the image there and the quality. Forget about the quality, but the setup looks very similar to how Games Workshop preps their pictures. So what I'm thinking has happened here is that this is part of a larger picture, and what they did was basically potato cammed it and zoomed in on one spot and made it deliberately blurry, and we're only seeing a very small part of this. So are the bikers real? Is these two vehicles here real? Are these two new types of infantry models? I don't know, guys and gals. I really don't. I'm speculating here, but the rumors of excuse me. I've had the rumor of three new Space Marine three new Space Marine units coming out next year. This could very well be it. This could very well be it. This looks like it could be four. I thought the Overlord would be one of them, but this could be actually end up being five. I will know probably either tomorrow or Saturday. If not, I will keep digging for you all. Anyways, I've got to get to work. You all have yourself a wonderful day at work or at home or school, whatever it is that you're doing today. If you're at home and you're watching TV and stuff, man, paint five models. Even if it's just base coating, just do some base coating. Get maybe a wash on there. Let it dry. You'll have accomplished something awesome today for your hobby. And don't build like your 20th list of the day. Do some painting. Get some stuff done. Enjoy your day. Get your DD set up for tonight. Have some money set aside for an Uber. Have a plan of attack for getting home, or if you're going to be crashing at somebody's house for New Year's Eve. Please, please, please be safe. We need the gamer community to be safe. We don't want to lose anybody. We don't want to lose anybody that's even outside the gaming community. We don't want anybody to get arrested and get a DUI, because we need you to buy stuff to play games. So don't get a DUI, DWI, any of that stuff. Be very safe tonight. Have a very, very awesome New Year's Eve party. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Well, we'll see if I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'm going to be here, but you might be recovering from a hangover. So you guys have a wonderful day. I will talk to you tomorrow.